when you put it.
Gray skies over Puget Sound, and plenty of umbrellas on sale in Seattle. Home to the Crossover League, a place where jump shots fall from the indoor sky wet like the rains of Pacific Northwest folklore. Summer in the city ain't been the same since Quincy Jones soundtrack Jamal's first summer here. Broken ankles, 40-point outbursts as regular as the sunrise, and a foundation that makes the game far more important for everyone in the gym. A place where you can see Zach LaVine walking amongst the clouds with ease. Where you can see Isaiah Thomas finding his fourth quarter mojo, cooking at 90 degrees. A place where undersized dunk champs like Nate Robinson first flew through the Summer League trees. Yeah, it can get a little bit gray outside, but in the gym at Seattle Pacific University, the matchups and highlights are considered some of the most colorful in the world of summertime ball. Fluid, yet rough and tumble, just like the city it calls home. It's deeper than just a game here. Everybody wins. Everybody contributes. A real team effort for the ages. Seattle. play of the game.
And there was some excitement last night in the Pacific Northwest on the Pro-Am circuit as the Hype Brothers made their debut at Seattle Pacific. Stephen A. Smith, what'd you think of the performance?
What I want to really say is that, first of all, it was about time. It's nice to know that the brothers listened to me, because I was the one talking about how they needed to play together. They accepted the counseling that I provided.
Yes, you did.
Now they are out on the court again, handling their business. Nick Howard looked pretty good. The comeback kid truly looked like the comeback kid. Seems like he's completely healed from that ACL injury. I like what I saw. I was very impressed. And more importantly, I want to applaud their intellect. Listening to the wisdom that I espoused, they deserve a lot of credit.
You just love taking this bow, don't you? And look, I'm not taking any credit away from them, or for you for that matter.
Okay.
But shouldn't we contextualize this a little bit? It was a very impressive performance. There's no denying it. But it is one game. And how shall I say this? I think we need to be cautious about overstating the level of competition here.
Well, there's no doubt about that, but at the same time, it's whether or not they're taking the proper steps towards prosperity. Bottom line is they did step one. Now, step two, I'm hearing they're going to show up in the Dykeman League. We're hearing that they're going to show up and perform there. We'll see how they do in that particular situation. But the hype is real because people who have watched them over the years are seeing similarities now to what they saw back then, and that's the most important
believe
point.
the hype?
I'm not saying believe the hype.
Don't believe the hype, but believe the hype.
I'm not saying believe the hype. I'm not saying don't believe the hype. I'm simply saying don't poo-poo anything right now. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see.
Are you accusing me of poo-pooing?
Possibly, quite possibly.
I may have
you are
poo-pooed a little
negative,
bit.
Max. You are negative,
I may have
Max.
poo-pooed a little bit.
Maybe.
The sun shines brightly over the high court of Uptown Hoop Dreams, precariously divided between Washington Heights and Inwood. Between the whistles and beneath the project towers is where a young Lou Alcindor changed from a boy to the prototypical big man, perfecting the skyhook and agility unprecedented. Part and parcel of a history fathoms deep, where 3,000 highlight-hungry fanatics crowd the fence weekly to bear witness to the greatness of guards like Eric Opio, a.k.a. El Presidente, disrupting any and all defenses. J.R. Smith and Kemba Walker, perfecting their seasonal alley-oops and step-backs. Dominican Power, raining long-range crossover dreams on Uptown's friendliest rims. Young men with names like Too Hard to Guard, formerly known as Idris de Leon, before his handle made him the stuff of legend, New York City's Black Top Kingdom. Many would say this is the most entertaining outdoor ball in the city. Between the lines and in the paint, and with a style and grace that can only be found uptown. We are New York City basketball at its very best. Dykeman. Play of the game. The Drew League, jewel of South Central LA. Since 1973 in the act of his dreams of one Mr. Alvin Willis on the corner of Compton and Firestone. A 6-team startup turned invite-only ball player's dream. Designed to motivate the community and destined to redefine West Coast Pro-Am basketball. Iconic head-to-head battles with the likes of Harden, Young, DeRozan, and Kobe. Hotbed for countless young high school, street, and college stars just the same. And the word on the street is, no excuse, just produce. Mr. Dino Smiley commissioned a change in '85, and the pros showed up to 120th and Compton by the dozen in 2011, completing the transformation of King Drew Magnet High, from just another school gym to a fully bannered arena for one and all in the heart of Compton. All for the community, all for the game, all for love. The Drew League, Compton.
What's up, fellas? Nice win this summer. Hope you don't mind. Had a few friends stop by. You know, just to make it interesting. Let's hoop. Hey, man. Good to see you balling again. You have all the tools. Just keep working hard and play your game. I'll be watching you this year and gunning for you in the NBA draft.
Play of the game. After a summer playing street ball and pro-am games, you head back to school for your junior year. From the first week on, you have a spectacular season. You mounted an incredible comeback that few thought was possible. The reporters, the scouts, and the coaches all see your potential. Not only the potential to play in the NBA, but the potential to be a star in the league. And at the end of the season, there's little doubt about where you're headed next.
Stephen A., it is one thing to come back from a catastrophic knee injury. That's hard enough. But there is a consensus now, and I agree with it. Comeback Kid is better now than he was before. I mean, he has come all the way back and then some.
Well, I appreciate the intellect on your part because it's indisputable, and why make a point that can be disputed. You're very, very wise not to do that, Max Kellerman. I'm very proud of you. But in the end, here's the bottom line. He's exceeded all expectations. He's going about doing the things the right way. He's expanded his skills in the pro-am. Everybody has noticed. That's a very, very big deal. So I'm very happy about that.
It is. So far be it for me to agree with you. But look, there were questions heading in. There were skeptics who had these questions, and I think at this point, it is safe to say that this is NBA ready. You know NBA ready when you see it, you saw it, this is NBA ready.
He's got a mentor in James Harden now, from what I'm hearing. Scouts and general managers in the NBA have been lauding his talents. They say that this kid is real, he's ready, he's legit. So when we look at it from that perspective, the next thing up is the NBA scouting combine. He performs on that level. Obviously, that's a big deal. Now, we'll all be watching. We'll wait to see what happens. But guess what? We wouldn't be able to watch you if you weren't invited. So the fact that you were invited is a big deal, and major props to him for that.
And we will be there. ESPN will be there from Chicago, updating our live ESPN mock drafts. It will be an interesting several days in the Windy City.
There you go.
play of the game.
I got loyalty inside my DNA. Quarter piece got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though ambition, flow inside my DNA.
As we have discussed, Stephen A., this is one of the most talented draft classes to come out, maybe the most talented in the last, what, decade?
Probably.
And in spite of all that talent and all those stories, the one story that's dominated the headlines has been that of who? Of course, the comeback kid. You see in our final mock draft, ESPN, we have him going at number 1.
Well, I think the mock draft hit the nail right on the head. The fact of the matter is you got raw and untapped talent in this draft. But this kid, his heart, his moxie, his guts, his willingness to face adversity in the face and conquer it, I give a lot of credit to him. When I'm thinking about a potential NBA prospect, I'm thinking about those things because the one thing that is sure to arrive is adversity. Can you handle it? Anybody can deal with things when the sun is shining. But can you stand the rain, Max Kellerman? Can you stand the rain?
Look, heart, yes, he has heart. But you know what the heart bone is connected to?
Oh,
the
boy.
knee bone. I mean, look, he has heart, yes, but teams are cognizant that this kid had a major knee injury, and they take that into consideration. I mean, a draft pick, especially the number 1 overall pick, that is a precious commodity. Teams are risk averse. My prediction is the comeback kid, his draft stock comes back to earth a little bit. I don't think he's going number 1 overall.
I'm not going to bite. You're just in a bad mood. You're just in a bad mood. I don't know what soap opera you watch. I don't know what fight you were disgusted by having to watch or whatever. I'm not going to fall for this, Max. All I'm going to do is sit still, chill, and wait. And I'm going to make sure that they tape this. I'm going to keep running and running and running the tape over and over again until you will apologize on national television for the negative rhetoric you're spewing right now.
And, oh, you're gonna save the tape? I will do the same for you, my friend. And on that note, we are ready for the NBA draft.
Yes, we are.
The draft is over, and your comeback is complete. You faced adversity, you tested your game on the streets, and now you've made it to the NBA. But your rise has just begun. So remember, greatness doesn't come easy, but by choosing your own path, it's always within reach. So, are you ready to be the one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right, bro.